Now, Alrighty, we are live. Welcome to the show, everybody. I was gonna go live today, but then I said that's not right. So I just came live to say hello. We got to get up real early. I want to be out the door by 8:30. I want to be early. I want to go sit in their face early. Since they wouldn't let us come, we were 10 minutes late. I want to be early. So they don't have no excuse. So this could be the last show. Next time you see me, I might have a new grill. Next time you see me sitting here. So we already have drama for tomorrow that we didn't even anticipate. And I'm not kidding. We might have drama already that I wasn't even anticipating. So we taking Bessie tomorrow, and Bessie gonna have some work to do. Take a look, everybody.
R2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
But I thought I was supposed to be shopping now in case everything ran out. Either way, shop now, shop then, looking like good deals and looking like good weather to be inside doing some of that shopping because temperatures are going to be fairly cool as we have a storm system to our north that is going to bring the chance of flurries. It is also going to make it feel like the 30s when we wake up tomorrow morning. Right now, though, we're taking a live look out over toward Baltimore, and we're noticing mostly cloudy skies in locations as we do have the storm system nearby. Temperatures currently 46 degrees out toward Essex, out over towards Inner Harbor. You're at 47, Columbia, 46 degrees as well. But the real deal is, what does it feel like, right? Feels a little bit cooler when you factor in the wind. Feels like 42 in Columbia, feels like 39 in Parkton. And this is with our winds predominantly out of the south. So when we get a stronger wind, that's going to make temperatures feel even cooler. Currently, wind speeds only averaging 5 to 7 miles per hour. But with the storm system to our north, we should see our winds sustained 10 to 20 miles per hour tomorrow, and the strongest in the morning, which is when it's the coldest. So that's going to make it feel awfully brutal to your skin for all those kiddos who have to wait out at the bus stop.
Matter of fact, I need to go wash my
sweater. There's that low pressure system moving off from Ohio, pushing out over toward portions of New York. In fact, Buffalo is already going to be seeing some of that slushy mix. And then for us, we're just going to see that storm system somewhat fall apart by tomorrow. Still enough to give us an isolated flurry. Not going to be a lot of us. It's really only a 10% chance. But nonetheless, we could see it. And temperatures are going to feel very cool with those winds gusting, mostly cloudy skies to start things out. As the day progresses, though, we get more sunshine out there. Winds are still going to stay a little bit breezy, so still going to feel a little bit cool out there. In fact, almost about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal for us. Not for long. That high pressure to the south will start pumping in warmer air, especially for the middle half of the work week. So let's show you what it's going to actually feel like tomorrow, right? Here we are, 8:30 in the morning. If kiddos are waiting out at the bus stop, it feels like 28 degrees in the Inner Harbor, feeling like 27 in Elkton, Stevensville feeling like 31. So if you want to go ahead and be nice, you can take your kiddos to school instead of making them wait outside in the blustery conditions for you. By 10 a.m., still watching these numbers, not really moving up much because the winds are going to stay fairly cool. And remember, it's cloudy, so it's going to take a little bit of time before things really warm up. Now we're looking at 12:45, your lunch hour, and this is yet again what it feels like to your skin. So hopefully you pack your lunch with you so you can eat on inside. Only feeling like 32 in Parkton, Columbia feeling like 37, feeling like 38 degrees out toward the Inner Harbor. The kiddos get home from school off the bus, and now they're walking home feeling like 38 into Stevensville. These numbers, just all around cold. Reading them, I want to go ahead and put my coat on for you. And 5 o'clock, yet again, we are watching the northern half of the state feeling like the 20s for us. When in reality, we are going to see the mix of sun and clouds by 10 a.m., officially 46, but feeling closer to the 30s for you by 4 p.m. There goes that plenty of sunshine on out there. 7-day forecast for you tomorrow. Windy, isolated snow flurries to start. Tuesday, we get a mix of sun and clouds out there. And now you really see the warm up coming into place Wednesday and Thursday.
Look at that.
Look at your 7-day.
Look at that. Wednesday and Thursday and Fridays in the 60s. We ain't got nowhere to go. but it's gonna feel like 27 when we go tomorrow.
Now to the latest on the corona.
Do you see how the deck gets stacked against you? Do y'all see how the deck gets stacked against you? So we're gonna be out there riding with snow flurries, but it is what it is. I got confidence in my Pedelec PX5. Now we're gonna have a through testing. We found out the 360-degree camera doesn't do well. I can't say the camera don't do well. The phone systems, Metro and the Verizon knockoff, doesn't do well indoors with this camera, but it does well outdoors. So until we can get a better camera, we're going to do it like this. I'm going to put the helmet on my head because it gives us the best view. Makes me look retarded, but I'll be on the bike, so I don't care. I can't see how retarded I look. When we go inside, like we go inside the market or the pharmacy, or when we go inside, we'll use the Samsung A12. Now, we had the selfie stick that supposed to came today, and it didn't. So we'll see if it come. It ain't gonna come before tomorrow. So we leaving early tomorrow. I'm gonna go make myself go to sleep, and I'm gonna get up and do what I have to do to get out of here. That's my goal for tomorrow. Get up, go do what I have to do. We're gonna get out there. Hopefully, it's just flurries and it's not no ice. But tires got pretty good traction. We got 20-inch, 4-inch wide tires, so we should be good. So hopefully it'll be a nice, safe trip. The quality is going to be better than our last live. And I'm going to ride up there and let y'all take in the sights. And then on the way back. And we're not going to have to rush. I'm going to leave early so we don't have to rush. And so I hope that's not my TV. I thought I paused it. I thought I paused the YouTube now. Hold on a sec, y'all. Well, let me go check. I thought I paused the TV. I thought my TV. No. Okay, good. All right. Long drag nine. All right, sorry about that, y'all. I had the headphones on, and I could still hear the TV. A TV, I thought it was mine. You know, the landlord at the time had advised me, and also my lady friend at the time had advised me not to bring the speaker systems. Y'all know we had two 5.1s. But I did bring part of the newer one. The subwoofer, which contains the amplifier, the input jacks, and the power cord, and then the right front speaker attaches to the subwoofer. And you can't have one without the other because the on and off switch, the volume, and the headphone jack is in that one little satellite speaker. That's the right front. If anybody know anything about 5.1s, and I've educated y'all over the years, that's a 6-speaker system. So we wound up getting a speaker for free. I got some incense for free. And actually wound up getting 2. And so now out of the 6, 5.1 is 5 speakers and a subwoofer. So you get a front right, a front left, a rear left, a front left. Then you get the center and you get the subwoofer. That gives you 6 speakers. So right now we have 4. So basically the right front is in the window. And the left front is actually attached to the old TV that I have on the floor, and that's almost on the left side in the center. I put that as the left front. Then on the other side of the room, in between the king size bed and the wall, I have the center speaker. And some of y'all will say, well, why'd you do that? Well, because the problem I had before was we only had the right front and the subwoofer. So if you played anything in 8D, 3D, or if you played anything that had the sounds go from one side to the other, like my opening song, you know how the music, it go from one side to the other? By you only having one speaker, you got nothing when it went to the other side. So that's why we got that. And like I said, I could have done the right rear, but instead I did the center. So the center is actually right next to the bed on the right-hand side. The right front is in the window, which is in the center of the room. And then the left front is on the left side. Now, we got 2 more speakers coming, and they're going to be for the rears. But I didn't order the rear satellite speakers. I ordered the center speakers because you get 2 speakers with them instead of 1. And you get 2 3-inch instead of 1 2-inch. And next month, we're going to have to get extension cords. There's just an extension cord to extend the speakers because you only get, I think, a 5 or 6 foot cord with the center because it's not supposed to go that far from, the center supposed to be sitting in front of your TV, supposed to be in the center. So you don't need a long cord. I didn't think about that when I ordered them. Because for the same price, I could have got the 2 rear satellites. But like I said, you only get 1 2-inch speaker. But with the centers, you get 2 3-inch. So, the bigger the speaker, the better the sound. So we'll get into that. But anyway, I see I got a treacherous trip tomorrow. Hopefully nothing happened, but it's gonna be windy. It's gonna be cold. I hope y'all can hear. I hope the wind don't get and so we're gonna hit the dentist, and I don't know what's gonna happen there. But whatever does happen when we leave, we're gonna hit the market, and We didn't get the selfie stick in time, and I knew we wasn't. So we're gonna have to use the old one, and hopefully it don't break the phone. So we already against the gun. I got everything charged up. Our new plan is for the mobile lives is I'm going to wear the helmet on my head. Whenever we stop somewhere, I'm going to take the camera off. I'm going to put it in the off position. I'm going to put the power bank. I got a power bank charging right here. Is it charged yet? No, it's taking its time charging too. I got a power bank charging. We're going to take the power bank and we're going to bring this camera and let it sit on the bike and record. But the other camera will be on the helmet. We'll be live and on that camera. But when we stop somewhere, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put it with the power bank and let it charge so that when we come back out, we can go back live on it and it'll be fully charged. So the key is not to stay outside long enough to burn the camera up. Now, if by some chance we decide to go on a long ride or something, I can take this camera off and put this on my head and put the other camera on the bike and let it get on the charger and we can come back live. So this way we good, and either way, we ain't got to spend no money and we'll still get good quality. So we'll see how that works tomorrow. Let's check this story out real quick.
New York City employees are now vaccinated. But 2 weeks after that mandate took effect, we're learning dozens of people may have submitted fake vaccine cards. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner reports.
Sunday trash pickup was never a thing in New York City, but it has been for the last 2 weeks. 87% of sanitation workers who are vaccinated have had to pick up the slack for those who are not due to the city's November 1st mandate. But Sunday night, a source from the Department of Sanitation told CBS 2 at least 50 workers provided fake vaccine verification. The source says multiple employees claim to have received the Johnson & Johnson shot at CVS locations on Staten Island and Brooklyn, but those locations were not administering the brand.
How can you get something fake? It's not fair. You have to do the truth.
At the end of the day, if you have to pay rent, if you really need to get food on your table, then you gotta do what you gotta do.
A DSNY spokesperson said the agency is actively investigating the situation and that anyone found to have faked their vaccination will be suspended without pay. There are also allegations involving the FDNY. The New York Post reports blank cards were stolen from vaccination sites administered by the department and forged. The city's Department of Investigation says DOI is aware of allegations involving the issuance of bogus vaccination cards and declines further comment.
I think it's horrible. Like, just get the shot, but at the same time, I don't blame them.
The head of the Uniformed Firefighters Association told us no one notified him that anyone in the union was under investigation for possessing a fake vaccination card. The unions for EMS workers and sanitation employees did not get back to us. Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
That's a daggone shame. If you don't want to get vaccinated, then quit your job. Go do something else. But you are a public employee. You represent the public. And when we have to deal with you, we expect you to be vaccinated. Especially EMS. That's all he did. Hold on, show that again. So he just walked in. Shot. And left. Did he shoot anybody? He just shot to be shooting? He looks simple. Okay, like I said, mental illness is out of control in our country. All right, come on, Kevin. You still doing the shadow stuff?
I know it's foggy eyes. It's foggy eyes.
Okay. Come on, Kevin. You got to get more creative, buddy. I know it's hard to come up with new material every day, but you got to get more creative. You got all day to think about it, buddy. Come on now. As a fellow content creator, I understand. But you're going to have to come up with something, you know. We look at the news. We talk about natural events. You know, it's always something to talk about. You just got to be willing to pay the consequences, because there are consequences to us showing the news videos. There are consequences. But you got to be willing to deal with it if you want to do this.
A Nashville woman had her power cut off while her kids were trying to attend virtual school, Rory.
It wasn't because she hadn't paid her bill. It was because her landlord wanted her out so he could demolish the home. Our investigative reporter Ben Hall sheds light on the disturbing way some renters are evicted even during the pandemic.
I mean, it's just disgusting that someone could do anything like this.
Gerald Wilson couldn't believe how he was forced out of the home he'd been renting for 3 years.
No warning at all. So considering that this is extremely low down.
It was days before Christmas when the owner suddenly shut off the power.
Me and my children have to find somewhere right now to go.
Isis Tucker Rowland also lived in the single family house with her 2 children.
I have 2 children that was getting on virtual learning. And then the power shut off in the middle of them.
Rowland says she paid $200 rent every week for one of the 4 bedrooms. Wilson and 2 other tenants rented the other bedrooms.
You know, with this COVID going on, it's hard for you to go to somebody else's house with 2 children.
Rowland was caught off guard that December morning, so she called the Nashville Electric Service.
It's cold. You know what I'm saying? It's already cold in this house. I got 2 children, like right now.
We obtained recordings of her calls to NES, including one where the NES representative called the owner of the property and put him on the line.
I am actually trying to put a new house in there. I need to demolish the house as soon as possible.
On the 3-way call, Rowland spoke directly with the owner, whom she'd never met, and asked if he knew there were tenants in the house who now had no place to live.
It's impossible that there should be somebody's living. There is no any contract. There is nothing that, to my knowledge, is there. The contract, the house is under my name. The NES is under my name.
The owner told NES the residents were in the house without his permission and claimed he had told them to vacate the house 60 days ago. But Rowland told us she had been living in the house for 2 years and showed us a copy of a lease agreement signed in July by the same property manager they had been paying for years. A local church had even used federal CARES Act money to help both Rowland and Wilson pay their rent, which they said had been paid up through the end of the year.
So the families here that within the house, we got to try to move by Monday.
Not by Monday, as soon as possible.
It's very disturbing, and you see more and more of this.
Former judge and Metro Councilman Nick Leonardo said there's been a moratorium on evictions because of COVID, and landlords should never cut off power while people live inside the home. But he said some landlords are desperate to get renters out.
There's absolutely no way that these people could have been evicted with this moratorium. And so you see desperate times call for desperate measures. And so individuals are taking really egregious actions.
And I have 2 children virtual learning.
It's tough to hear. It's extremely hard to listen to.
We played the call for Councilman Brandon Taylor, who represents the area.
These stories happen more than we want to know or more than we think.
He says 83% of the people in his North Nashville district rent. He tried to pass a bill in the Metro Council that would have required landlords give more notice to tenants if they plan to sell their property, but it failed.
There's opportunities, I think, that will arise out of this conversation where the council can act.
But that may not be true. The Tennessee State Legislature is considering a bill that would prohibit local governments from passing regulations that add to or conflict with the Uniform Landlord-Tenant Act.
My house empty. We about to demolish it, and the NES was supposed to take out the meter.
The power was never turned back on, and the house was demolished. Despite regulations designed to protect her, Roland and her kids had to find a new place to live that night.
It happened so fast. So then I had to just make a way and go try to find other options.
The fact is, violating tenant rights by kicking them out without notice or even turning off their power is not a criminal offense. It just leaves landlords open to lawsuits. But many tenants don't have access to lawyers, especially when they're just trying to find a new place to live. We reached out to the landlord here, but have not heard back. We'll keep trying to get him. Ben Hall, News Channel 5, investigates.
Because he ain't trying to hear it. He trying to make some money. He bought that place to make money.
We have an update on a robbery spree targeting women in the subway. Police say they've now arrested the man responsible for all of it. 46-year-old David Gooden is now charged with grabbing 3 different women and demanding their Metro cards. Investigators say he threatened to kill the victims if they didn't comply. This happened at 3 different stations earlier this month.
So I don't live in New York City, but I know a bus pass. Y'all that watched me go last time I went to the pharmacy, the security guard said that he paid $60 something a month for his bus pass. So I figure in New York maybe it's $100. You gonna kill somebody to get a subway pass? You gonna kill somebody? 9 minutes ago, breaking news. To get a subway pass.
Police are searching for 4 people who attacked the delivery truck driver around 2 this afternoon. The victim was delivering packages here near Ogden and Kildare when the suspect hit him in the face, then took items out of his delivery truck. They then jumped into a different vehicle and took off.
It's one thing to rob somebody. See, when you have to rob somebody, it's proof that you can't make it in this world. If you can't make it in this world, ain't much more I can say about you. If you can't make it, you need to get out. You have to go steal to get what you need. Maybe you don't need what you think you need. We got this, and it's demon inspired. We got this thing. You have to get whatever you could get. When you think that way, that's not Jesus and God way. That's the devil and his demons way. And the more you subscribe to that thinking, the more you subscribe to being followers of them. You don't have to steal. You do not have to steal. Because if you have to steal to get what you need, you ain't worthy of needing it. You don't need it. You don't need it. If you can't go out and use your resources, you can't use your brain. You can't use your hands. You can't use your feet. But you have to use a knife or a gun or a bomb to get what you need. Maybe you don't deserve what you need. But why is it fair for you to take something, for you to steal something from somebody that's going out there and getting what they need? And you not only take their stuff, but you assault them. You beat them up. You leave them for dead. How are you going to rob them again if you kill them? Because you in need. You and people like you are in need. When you kill somebody that's producing something, it's less for you to steal because you make less people producing. Does that make sense? Or you just think of the moment. We become that self-centered. We only think of the moment. It's a mindset. They got it. I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead.
My thing is about safety. I'm very afraid of the coronavirus.
Kimberly Harrington says she's tried to keep calm, but fear and anxiety created by the COVID-19 pandemic has had a tremendous impact on her. She's lost 3 jobs, had issues with unemployment, and now is in jeopardy of losing her home at this apartment complex. She's lived here for 20 years.
I've known I've done everything I'm supposed to do on my part, but this was just like a slap in the face.
Harrington says her landlord, who suggested she seek eviction prevention funds and who she claims accepted the money back in January to pay past due rent, at this point is now refusing to accept rent assistance from Baltimore City.
I am entitled to it. Whoever needs it is entitled to it. If you're a city resident, you are entitled to it. But it's up to the landlord to accept it. But if you're getting paid in full and all the balances is going to be zero, I'm just not understanding.
Public Justice Center attorney Matt Hill says it's become an issue in Baltimore and other places around the country. Landlords are balking at certain stipulations in the rental assistance contract, including a provision not to evict a tenant for 90 days.
Some landlords don't want any restrictions on what they can do and when and how with their eviction proceedings. I think that's wrong.
The I-Team contacted the landlord. The senior vice president and chief operating officer's response, Henderson Webb Incorporated, recognizes the challenging position that our tenants are facing because they were directly or indirectly affected by COVID. As a company, we have literally spent thousands of hours contacting and meeting.
I used to rent from Henderson Webb.
To help them obtain rent assistance. It is our intention to continue to aid our tenants. The wording in the Baltimore City rent assistance contract contained ambiguities and conflict, unlike the wording and conditions of other jurisdictions' contracts.
Money is green here. They're not being asked to take a haircut on the funds. They're getting paid in full. They're not giving up any of their rights to collect rent for the future. And so we think it's outrageous. It's outrageous for landlords not to accept these funds.
The Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success tells 11 News landlords had no concessions under earlier funding, but now under the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, concessions are required. The 90-day provision is considered critical for the success of the program and to avoid an eviction crisis.
The city's giving by, paying the back rent. The tenant is making a commitment to get current and to begin to pay their rent. And we need the landlord to be a partner in this process and allow families an opportunity to become stable and current on their rent.
Kimberly Harrington is due in court next month. She's hoping her failure to pay rent case will get resolved without her losing her home.
I have faith. I have strength and I have faith. And I'm not a negative person. I'm not about negative. I'm about positivity. So I know I can get through this.
For the 11 News I-Team, I'm Barry Sims.
Baltimore City says many landlords are participating in the eviction prevention program, and options are available for tenants if their landlords decline the funds. Henderson Webb says it's trying to work with the city to resolve issues the company has with the agreement.
That's a damn shame, a darn shame. Years ago, when I say years ago, I mean years ago, I used to rent from Henderson Webb. If that office is still the same, it's way out there in Cockeysville. Y'all remember, we've never been that far. If you go look at the video where Nia asked about York Road, and we rode all the way out York Road. Where we turned at, York Road stops, but then it starts again. And this York Road goes all the way out to Pennsylvania. And so 2 miles from where we turned, and we saw the Fridays, and that's when we were probably about 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles from where actually that office is. But they have a lot of properties in the city, and they're way out in the county. And if you needed to make a payment quick, it costs you money to get out there. And now they got buses that go out there. But you would have to take 3 or 4 buses. That's really sad that the city's giving them the money and they don't want it. They want to be in control totally. But if you getting the money, what's the problem? If you're getting the money, what's the problem?
A shooting in the Bronx leaves one man dead, another hospitalized. Police say a 32-year-old walked into Bronx Lebanon Hospital yesterday. He had been shot in the chest and could not be saved. The other shooting victim, a 46-year-old, is expected to survive. It happened around 5 p.m. on McCombs Road in the Mount Eden section. It's unclear what led up to the shooting, and no arrests have been made in the case.
Shooting over nothing. Shooting over nothing. Just shooting people to be shooting them. Is it still on sale? Yep. Let me go ahead and push this e-bike real quick. You said a bike not make it that far? No, it'll make it. I have to bring 3 spare batteries. And we got 3 of them. I bought a spare, and I got a battery for the PX5, and I got a battery for the actually 2 batteries would do it. Because we made it all the way out there, and then we turned around and came all the way back. So actually 2 batteries would do it. But to go to Pennsylvania, might need 5 batteries. To go to Pennsylvania, you might need 5 batteries. All right, y'all. The Black Friday sale is still on. So let me go ahead and promote the bike. He said, keep it under 80 and conserve juice and hotel room to recharge them. Yeah, but I ain't got no reason to go to Pennsylvania. This is the Pedelec GS9 Plus. This is the most featured e-bike that you will find in this price range. My coupon code to get you this bike for $15.99. It's never been this cheap. Y'all see me ride this thing. The 26-inch fat tires are to die for. They 4 inches wide. They're like riding on pillows. It's got a 9-speed Shimano shifter. It's got hydraulic, car-like brakes. It's got front suspension, and it's got whole rear frame suspension. It's got a 750-watt motor that peaks between 1050 and 1100 watts. It's got a color display. What more could you want in the e-bike? And the best thing about it, it don't look like an e-bike. Somebody at first glance would not be able to tell this is an e-bike. If you put the pannier bags on your bike like I do, matter of fact, I got to put the pannier bags on Bessie for the Mars trip. We're going to hit the market when we're done. But where we going tomorrow? It's 4 big hills. 4 of them. The bike that they sent me for free doesn't like the hills. Now, if you buy a bike, you ain't getting a reject like they sent me. But I tell you, if I'd have paid for this bike, I'd send it back. But saying how I didn't pay for it, and I love to ride it. Even though the video wasn't that clear, because Mud Dog said to turn the resolution down, I had fun riding that bike. See, I paid for my PX5. But I can tell you, I prefer riding this bike to my PX5. Prefer it. The comfort, the speed, the power, the looks I get from everybody. This bike is a beast. Bobcat says that he bought one, but he never tells you anything about him riding it. He paid for his. And if you pay for yours, you'll get a great one. I have more fun on Marsha than I do on Bessie. And it's nice to hit the brakes and not hear that squeak, hear that squeal, mechanical brake squeal. If the company would have done the right thing, they would have sent me another bike. The people at the company might be jack-offs, but they make damn good bikes. The features that are on this bike, you're not going to find for $15.99. I don't care where you look. And you can have this bike at your doorstep in 7 days or less. This is the Queen of the Hill right here. I can't imagine the fun I would have. If I have fun with it and they didn't send me a great one, imagine the fun you're going to have. Just imagine it. Something about this bike is special. And like I said, even though they sent me a reject, I love it. They had the nerve to ask me to send it back. I said, you done lost your mind. I done put money into this bike. I said, you ought to send me a new one so I can show it off for the people. They say you're not selling enough. So, okay. There's my coupon code. $15.99. $15.99 is a steal to get this bike. The bike that we riding tomorrow to go to the dentist, unfortunately, they didn't send me a perfect bike. I put my money into this bike. I'm still trying to get it up to where it need to be. This is the bike that we taking tomorrow. I got the black version. We got it in black and white. This is the Pasolec PX5. $500 watt motor. that peaks between 750 and 800 watts. Comes with fenders and racks. Comes with front and rear lights. 10.4 amp hour battery. Unlike the bike I showed you before, this is a basic bike, but it's a damn good one. The motor is strong. Let me tell you. When I first started promoting these e-bikes, matter of fact, when I bought this e-bike at the end of April with the stimulus, I was over 300 pounds. This bike took me up the steep hills, even though I was 300 pounds. Now I average between 275 and 280. I'm trying to get my weight down. This bike takes me wherever I got to go. And never complains. We ain't never been stranded. I've taken y'all all over my city on this bike. This bike don't have the fancy doohickeys that the other bike has. But it's reliable, it's dependable, and it get the job done. When we go to the market, it bring me home with my groceries, no matter how heavy the groceries are. The fact that we took this bike all over my city and we did a speed test and hit 34 miles per hour. We rode the bike for 3 hours and came back and did another speed test and it still hit 32, which I found amazing. We had a 24-hour market. They're not 24 hours anymore. But we used to go out all times of the night and ride. It was less traffic on the road. We could do what we want to do. This bike doesn't have the fancy hydraulic car brakes. It has mechanical disc brakes, but they work. It's got 20-inch, 4-inch wide tires. It's got a black and white display. It's got a front suspension fork. And it got seat post suspension included. Whole frame suspension is better, but seat post suspension is better than not having a hardtail. Meaning, if you been riding a hardtail bike all your life and you get on this, it's going to be a pleasure. But if you've been riding a full suspension bike, like the one I showed you before, you'll notice the difference. I can tell you, I got both of them sitting here. Full frame suspension is better than seat post suspension, but seat post suspension is a whole lot better than not having no suspension. So if you don't want to spend the $15.99, but you want to ride comfortably, get this bike, because the majority of foldables don't have no kind of rear suspension. The majority of mountain bikes don't have no kind of rear suspension. Pedelec gives you features. This is the link if you want to get the Pedelec PX5. Plenty of videos of me up riding it. Matter of fact, I might show you a couple. Let me put the link in there. Let me give you my coupon code. Copy it real quick. There's my coupon code. This is what you do with it. Hit buy now. They're asking $13.99. You can get it for $11.49. This is a more budget-friendly bike. But if you want to step it up, then you should get the PS6. I want this bike. It comes in green and it comes in black. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, it looks similar. Well, it should. It's the 6. I just showed you the 5. This is the 6. I want this bike. This bike is an upgrade to the bike I just showed you. And this is an upgrade. You don't have mechanical disc brakes that squeal sometimes. You have car-like brakes, hydraulic brakes on this bike. This bike doesn't have a 10.4 amp hour battery. It has a 12 amp hour battery. The battery's bigger. You need that bigger battery because instead of a 500 watt motor, you got a 750 watt motor that can peak at almost 1100 watts. The other bike I showed you had a nice rack. This has a heavy duty rack. The other bike I showed you had suspension in the front and a suspension seat post. You have to have the seat up to a certain height to be able to take advantage of the seat post suspension. Here, you can put the seat all the way down because the suspension is in the frame, it's not in the seat post. The bike I showed you before had a 7-speed Tourney Shimano shifter. This has an 8-speed Altus Shimano shifter. The other bike I showed you, they both have front headlights, but the one I showed you before, the seat is in the rear light is in the seat, and you have to power it with batteries. This bike, the power comes from the battery, and when you hit the brakes, the lights flash just like in a car to let everybody know what you're doing, that you're slowing down. And just like the other bike, this bike folds up. It has 20-inch, 4-inch wide tires. Comes with fenders. All you gotta do is unfold this bike out the box. Just take it out and close it, close the clamps on it, and there you go. It's ready to go. Well, charge the battery. You good to go. The battery not hanging out for somebody to steal. The controller not hanging out. I think this is the best value. The GS9 Plus has a couple more features. It's got a 9-speed shifter instead of a 8-speed shifter. It's got a 14.5 amp hour battery instead of a 12 amp hour battery. But it doesn't come, you have to get your own fenders. It doesn't come with a rack. You have to put your own rack on, like I did. But they both got 750 watt motors that peak at well over 1,000. And the smaller the wheel is, the more power, torque, and hill climbing ability you get. This bike is faster. And I haven't even ridden it yet, but based on the PX5, which is a 500 watt motor, But like I said, they didn't send me a new Plus. This bike came with problems. So I know if my PX5 is right behind the bike that they sent me, I know this bike is faster. But them 26-inch tires require more power to move than these 20-inch. I think, personally, if I had to decide between the GS9 Plus and this bike, I would go with this bike. It folds. It's smaller wheels. Will get you up the hill faster. Now going downhill, the Plus will be faster. Going uphill, this bike is faster. So if they got the same motor, it's easier to turn a 20-inch wheel than it is to turn a 26-inch wheel. But the comfort of having that 26-inch wheels, going over potholes and going over tree stumps and all that, it's going to feel smoother on the GS9 Plus because of the 26-inch fat tires. So like I said, if you want the look, if you want something that don't look like an e-bike, spend the $15.99 and get yourself a GS9 Plus. Especially if you plan on doing a lot of things, you know, in the woods, and you're going to be doing the trails and all that. Both of these bikes will do it for you, but those 26-inch tires will really help you out going through the mud and the sand. Both bikes will do it. But if that's what you're looking for, if you're going to commute and you're a businessman or a businesswoman, I would take the GS9 Plus because it looks professional. But if you do construction or you a teacher or something like that, I will go with this bike because they got the rack to carry all your books and everything. You carry your tools. It's got a 330-pound weight limit. It's a matter of what do you need? What can you afford? If you can't afford the GS9 Plus, then get this. Let me get you the link. That's the link to get what I think is the best deal. So I wasn't going to be on here long. That's why I didn't want to come on. It's already 1 o'clock. I wanted to be asleep by now. Here's my coupon code. Butter Dark PS6. Let me show you what you do with it. Because they asking $15.99, but my coupon to get you the GS9 Plus for $15.99. Let me show you what my coupon do for this bike. Put my coupon code in. You can get this bike for $13.99. So we talking $200. $200 difference. Do you want the prettier bike? Do you want the bike that's in stealth mode? Do you want the 26 4-inch wide tires? They both got 750 watt motors. They both got hydraulic brakes. They both got color displays. Do you need utility? Or are you showman? Do you want the 9-speed shifter? Or is the 8-speed shifter enough for you? The Plus got a 14.5 amp hour battery. This bike has a 12 amp hour battery. But that battery has to push 26-inch tires, whereas the battery on this bike only got to push 20-inch tires. So that's a trade-off right there. This bike comes with your rack, fenders, light. It comes with everything you need. You have to purchase some things if you want to get the pretty bike. I believe this is one of the best foldables on the market. And I can't wait to own one. But it's something about them 26-inch tires. If you want to ride on the balloons, you want to ride on the waterbed, spend the extra $200. If you're an athlete and you do a lot of shifting, get the 9-speed shifter. If you like to get attention, when people see me with this bike, they stop and look. Now, this is the PS6 right here we're looking at. I don't have the PS6. I got the PS5. And people give me comments about that too. But most people know it's electric. But when I got the GS9 Plus, they asked me, you can see in the videos, hey, is that electric? Hey, look at them big tires. It's a lot of 26-inch fat tire bikes on the market. None of them give you all the features that the GS9 Plus will give you. It's a lot of foldables on the market. Very few give you the features that we offer, that Pedelec offers. I'm saying we for, I don't work for them. But $13.99, $200 difference. $15.99. All right. I have pushed the bikes. Some of y'all are wondering, why do I still? They haven't sent me an e-bike to show y'all since the summer. Y'all are probably wondering, why am I still dealing with them? Because they give you features. Almost every other company that has bikes similar to the ones I show you, they don't give you no features. They don't give you rear suspension. That's number one. Most of them have mechanical brakes, disc brakes, and the ones that do have hydraulics, they got the Mickey Mouse shifter. They got the 6 or 7 speed shifter. It's always something. This company gives you features. There's not many bikes that have the features that the GS9 Plus has. Bobcat sends me a lot of videos on the bikes. They don't want to give you rear suspension. Don't understand it. I'm spending 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2000 on a bike. I should get rear suspension. That should be given. I should have front and rear suspension. I should have hydraulic car-like brakes, not mechanical disc brakes and not calipers. Somebody sent me a video of a bike. Yeah, it's only $9.99. Yeah, and it had caliper brakes on there. You know, when you were little and you had the little bike with the little caliper brakes on there. Yeah. Why the hell would you spend that much money and not be able to stop it? Because how do you stop it properly? Them things barely worked on a regular bike. Why the heck would you want to try to stop 26-inch, 4-inch wide tires with the bike brakes you had on your little kiddie bike when you was a child? I reach out to these other companies. They don't respond back. Or when they do, they say you're too small. Well, if nobody will send a bike, how do I grow? How do you grow? It's like having a great idea for a business, but nobody will give you, nobody will help you get started. Oh yeah, when you get big, come see me. If I get big, why do you come see you for? If I can get big without you, why do I need you when I get big? Let that marinate for a second. Because I didn't pay for the GS9 Plus. That's the reason why I still promote it. They didn't send it to me in the best condition, but I got it for free. And I love riding it. So that's why I still promote. But they were the only ones that were willing to send me a bike. Reached out to Electric XP before they even put the 2.0 out. They won't send me a bike to show y'all, but they keep sending me offers to buy one every week. A lot of black people, a lot of disabled people don't know about these bike companies. And this will be a great way to introduce them to them people. But they not looking for them. They looking for young rich white boys. Gotta buy that bike, ride it for a little bit, and then go buy another one. Because chances are the majority of their bikes will break down. They're looking for older people. Just like at RV parks. The majority of the time, the bikes are in the bottom of their RVs. They just ride them around a campsite or RV park. But you notice when you see the young boys, the people they're trying to reach, when you see them making them videos where they all riding together, you don't see no electric XPs. You don't see no Alahoras. They don't know who to market to because they're marketing to the wrong people. The people they want ain't looking for these bikes. They looking at Surons. They're looking at bikes that cost $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You're not going to get these people to get a regular bike. These are young show-offs. They want to go out there and do stupid stuff with it. You're marketing your bikes to people who will never buy them. If they do buy them, they'll keep them for a week or two and get bored. There's one guy, his name is David something. Black guy. He's got 4 bikes that he owns. And he does videos. When you look at the one he did for the electric, he's put a motor in the front and all kinds of stuff on it. They all about speed. What about people that just want to get around? What about people that can't drive anymore? What about people that's riding around in mobility scooters getting fatter and not getting no exercise? Don't you think they would like an e-bike? Why don't you market to them? That's what I try to do. Try to get people out the house. I have fun when I'm out riding. You can see it in my face. I want other people to have that fun too. Now, this is our monetized channel and it got flagged. So we started up a channel from scratch and we got 140 something subscribers on it in just the 4 months of us promoting the e-bikes. So when we got our monetized channel back, I was going back and forth. When we stopped using it a couple months ago, it was at 137 subscribers. We've only done 3 videos on it in the past 3 months, yet the channel has 147 subscribers on it. So the channel grew even though we weren't using it. Now imagine if another company sent me a bike and I could take it out there and test it, we would grow. And then another company would notice that and they would send one and we would grow. So basically, I'm at a standstill. If we get another stimulus, I'll go buy a bike to show you. Because to get into that business, you got to have the money to get in. Because they won't send you a bike unless you got 100,000 subscribers. So even though we got one video on a channel that only got 147 subscribers on it, we got a video that got 1,880 views. The fact that we've sold 24 bikes. Well, I haven't sold them, but they use my coupon code 24 of a company nobody never heard of on a channel that was started from scratch. We did better views on the e-bike channel. y'all asked me to stick to one channel. I'm thinking about going back because, like I said, we did better views. We did better views on the other channel. We were getting 200, 300, 400 views on that channel. Over here, we get what, 38? You looking at subscribers. Look at the views. The company Paselect has a YouTube channel. They've been around for 2 years on YouTube. They only got 30 more subscribers than the e-bike channel has, the e-bike while disabled channel has. I think they got 172 subscribers, and we got 147. That's not even 30. So we was able to get more subscribers. I think that says something. The fact that we was able to get more subscribers, or just as many, I think it says something. But anyway, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, y'all. So y'all have a great night. As Nia would say, see you soon. As I would say, hey, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow morning. And it's 1:13 in the morning. I wanted to be asleep by now. So let me go in here and make myself go to sleep so we can get up and get out of here. So see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming by. And see you in the morning. And we out. Peace, everybody.